Hey everyone, I'm Sparky and welcome to Sparky's Grow Room. In this episode, what we're going to do is take these tiny little seedlings here that we've got in these small fabric pots, and we're going to actually pot them in their permanent place in this 100-gallon fabric raised living soil bed. I hope you follow along. Okay, so here is a close-up view of one of the Runtstone Cowboys. This is the one that is a little bit more vigorous growing than the other pheno, and it had the longer tap roots when it was in the rockwool plug, and it's just continued to grow a little bit more vigorously than its neighbor, which is off-screen to the left. Now, before I get going on talking about seedling, if you're following along, you'll notice there's some new changes to the fabric bed. I've topped it off after initial settlement, and I've also installed this white drip tape that you see all the way around, and that's part of a Blumat system, and that has already been covered in another video that I'll be posting soon. The red line that you see over here is a water line that feeds it. We'll cover that in detail in an upcoming episode. Also, we're going to talk specifically about soil in another episode and how it relates to this bed and the raised 100-gallon fabric pot there. Now, these little seedlings are in these biodegradable pots just so that they can be transplanted in. Now, they were moved into those small bags 10 days ago, and I probably should have transplanted them a few days ago, maybe around day 7 or so, when the roots first started to peek out of the bottom of the pot. But unfortunately, after 3 years of a pandemic, COVID has finally hit our household, and so that's kind of slowed me down a little bit. And of course, because we're in soil, fortunately, the plants can wait. But look, one of the reasons that we need to take care of this, and also a good sign that you need to transplant, is when you have little rootlets coming out of the bottom of the pot. And you can see that they're really coming out right now. They're just going to go straight through that bag, and they want to reach down deep into the soil where they can gather nutrition. So that's what we're going to do next, is we're going to dig the right hole, and we're going to dig a hole basically the size of this pot, so that when it's down in the ground, the soil comes up to approximately the level of the soil here. Now, one of the things about cannabis is that you can actually bury them a little bit deeper. They're kind of like a tomato plant. That stem can go down into the ground deeper if you happen to have a tall and leggy plant. So if that's something that you're suffering from having maybe not enough light early on with a seedling, it can go deep. Now, there's no need to do that here with this one in particular, but we're gonna switch camera views, and we're going to get, I think, all 4 of these planted right where they need to be in their permanent homes. Okay, and there we have it. All 4 plants are put in their final place in the large 100-gallon pot. And I planted each of the little fabric seedling pots down as deep as the small fabric pot was, and maybe just like a quarter to a half of an inch deeper. I inoculated each hole with Dynamyco mycorrhizal fungus inoculant, just to continue to make sure that they get that beneficial nutrition coming from the mycorrhizal. fungus. I put that in both in the bottom of the hole, and if you're watching carefully, you saw that I went back and kind of dug down along the fabric pot and added some mycorrhizal fungus inoculant to that as well, so that really all throughout the root zone they're treated. And then, although I have this automatic watering system set up here with the Blumat system and that white drip tape, which I mentioned will be covered in another video, that really comes on automatically when the soil that's down 5 inches or down 9 inches is dry enough to cause the gravity-fed water system to come on. Now, these little seedlings, because they're so young and pretty tender, you've got to make sure that they get watered in, and I'm gonna just kind of carefully keep my eye on them and give them some pH'd water along the way until they really do take root. And then they'll take advantage of that water that's down deep, like say 5 inches and 9 inches down inside of that fabric pot. The last thing I'm going to do, particularly if I don't know if you can see it on the screen here, but some of the leaves do have some water spots on them from watering them in. So I'm going to make sure that I turn down my light on low so that a high-powered light doesn't really burn into the leaves, because those water drops can act like lenses and cause damage to the leaves themselves. So I'm going to turn that down probably for a few hours, make sure that they're good and dry before turning that light back up. Okay, I hope that you'll give me a like and consider subscribing to the channel. Also, look down below and you will find that there are links to Percy's Grow Room, where this grow-off is happening with the Seedsman Cali Cowboy Grow-off, where they're featuring 2 new strains. And you'll find that there's just a ton of great people over there at Percy's to help and answer questions, really support you throughout a grow, and also just friendly people to have a little camaraderie with. So thanks for watching, and I hope you look for another episode.